Hey guys, my name is Moon and welcome back for more Tsukihime, A Piece of Blue Glass Moon. So last time we got some Vampires 101 with our teacher, Arcuade, and also she taught Shiki about what is his mystic eyes or his eyes in general, right? That it was I guess a very special or rare gift that he has. And it's very dangerous, I guess, right? So let us continue. So are we gonna give the glasses to Arcuade here? I mean, she's asking for it though, right? I want to save. Actually, I don't really need to save every single time, but I'm just gonna save. Okay, so we'll relent, I guess, and just give them over. Arcuade doesn't look like she'll back down. Besides, if she gets any closer, there's a good chance we'll wind up wrestling for the glasses. And she'll absolutely win if it comes down to that. I pass my glasses to Arcuade. She purses her lips as she inspects the glasses from all angles. Then she pauses and looks up at me.
Shiki, これをあなたに渡した人、この町にいるの?
Yeah, honestly, I wish that we could see Aoko again. But I doubt it. It would be nice though.
いないと思う。7年も前の話だし、一箇所にとどまるような人じゃなかったから。
Yeah, more like she's a traveling mage, I guess. Now?
そう。よかった。余計な相手が増えなくて。ま、ブルーを相手じゃ引いた方が無難でしょうけどね。
With blue? What is blue? A stern expression graces her face as she falls silent.
アルクエド、お前先生じゃなくて、そのメガネを作った人を知ってるのか？
知ってるわ。現存する4人の魔法使いの一人だもの。
Oh, she really knows of Aoko.
そのメガネだってね、とんでもない一品なのよ。今の私の力じゃ、とてもじゃないけど壊せないぐらい。
Arcuade's tone grows more serious.
って、お前壊すつもりだったのか。
Was she was actually trying it?
え？私、そんなこと口にしちゃった？
I guess she was trying to break the lenses, right?
やっぱり壊す気だったんだな。
I huff at her to give them back and wrench the glasses out of her hand.
ったく、このメガネがないと正気じゃいられないって言ったのはそっちだろ。それとも、俺にそうなれって言いたかったのか、お前は。
別にそんなことじゃないけど。なんとなく、シキが大切そうにしてるのが嫌だったから。
Okay. I really have no idea how vampires think. This girl was ready to destroy my one lifeline on a whim.
いいから、二度と変な考えは起こすなよ。先生との思い出も大事だけど、それ以上にこれがないとやっていけないんだ。四六時中線が見えてたら、頭痛で頭がどうにかしそうだし。
ふん。死が見えてると脳に負担がかかるのかしらね。うん。シキの目は何かと原因がありそうだけど、とりあえず今はこれぐらいかな。機会があったらもう少し詳しく教えてあげるわ。
結構だよ。あいにく長話は嫌いでね。
I do though. I do enjoy long conversations.
そう？私は誰かと話すのって好きだけどな。意図が半分も伝わらない不自由な言葉でもこんなに心が揺れるんだもの。
Arcuade beams an honest, unreserved smile. It really looks like the simple act of conversing is enough to make her happy. Honestly, I thought that Arcuade was gonna be like this super serious character. The way They were always showing her in like posters or whatever. That's why when I first heard her voice, I didn't expect her to be like this, like very jolly, I suppose. I thought she would be serious. Let's say kind of like Akiya, right? And much more serious than that. But I like her personality, yeah. The night drags on. Arcade is seated on the bed. I'm on the sofa, aimlessly staring at the clock. It's just past 4 a.m. Only an hour or so to go till sunrise.
あと1時間か。
Nothing out of the ordinary has happened so far, and our Kuwait doesn't look the slightest bit nervous. The hotel is perfectly peaceful. I've been pretty nervous myself, but it's starting to look like I didn't need to be. It's nice. I have a feeling the night will pass uneventfully just like this.
ねえシキ、
For the umpteenth time this night, Arcade calls out to me.
なんだよ。もう話すこととかないからな、こっちは。
そうなの？せっかくこうしてるのにもったいないね。
あのな、さっきからどれだけおしゃべりに付き合ってると思ってるんだ。6時間だぞ、6時間。何が疲れたかって、見張りなんかよりそっちの方が疲れたよ、俺は。
Arcade shoots me at this satisfied pout. It's been like this all night. Oh, by the way, I wonder what is happening in the mansion now, right? Yeah. Because yeah, he's not home, right? Like Isui, Kohaku, Akiha, they're gonna be so worried. For whatever reason, Arcade just keeps talking to me. I told her that if she's so weak, she should just get some sleep instead, but
話している方が楽しいから。
how did we end up like this? Honestly, like you're talking to a vampire, interview the vampire, right? But I guess Arcade is not gonna say her full past to you, because yeah, technically you just met and then Shiki killed her a couple episodes back, right? I really have no idea what's going through her mind. On top of that, I'm starting to get hungry. Now that I think about it, it's been nearly an entire day since I ate something. The last meal I had was yesterday's breakfast.
お腹が減っているなら何か食べたら？
Yeah, you can get, what do you call that again? A room service?
せっかくホテルに泊まってるんだから、ルームサービスを使えばいいのに。
Yeah.
いい、緊張感がそがれる。そういうお前の方こそ、何か食べた方がいいんじゃないか。
四季がいいなら私もやめとく。普通の食事もそれなりに意味はあるけど、一人で食べてもつまらないもの。
普通の食事って、食事に普通も特別も。
Right. She doesn't look like one, but she's still a vampire. Her meals would normally consist of human blood. And who's the human here? You are. She said it herself, vampires need human blood to survive. Which means she's drunk of the blood of others before. I wonder how many humans she's killed in her life. I steal a glance at Arcade. I just can't wrap my head around it. No matter how many times she explains the intricacies of vampires to me, I just can't imagine her drinking blood.
何？私の顔になんかついてる？
Quickly, or I quickly look away. It's her turn to stare at me now. The corners of her lips pulls up into a mischievous grin.
気になる？
何が？
私がどのくらいの数、人間から血を吸ったのか、気になる？
She saw right through me. Her happy smug smile is enough to unsettle me. I don't like it, but I can't deny that I'm morbidly curious as to how many people she's killed.
そりゃ気になるよ。俺はお前と協力してるんだ。
Yes, if you're helping each other out, you gotta say what you know.
それぐらい知っとかないと、いつお前が心変わりして襲いかかってくるか予測がつかないだろ。
It's a legitimate concern to have. Archwade nods along, seemingly satisfied with my reasoning.
それじゃあ問題。私は今まで何人の血を吸ってきたでしょう。
Archwade hops off the bed with a bounce and heads back over to the window.
何人のって、それは。
Archwade smiles sweetly. She seems to be enjoying herself. She's clearly trying to get a rise out of me. Fine, I'll play this game. This strange woman has to have killed. Okay, what are we gonna say here? 10 people. 100 people. I don't think she's a person that goes and hunt a lot of people. Let's say 10 people, yeah. The minimum. But it's probably more.
10人は少ない。
はい、全然惜しくないはずれね。
Probably 100? 100,000?
じゃあ100単位か。
残念、日和切ったはずれです。
なら1000単位なのか。
はい、それも豪快に外れだわ。
She's gonna say less than 10. Archwade chuckles softly to herself. I'm not angry with her, but I'm starting to feel frustrated.
じゃあそんなことはないと思うけど、まさか万。
それも外れ。もう10だの100だの1000だのって式は私のことそういう風に見てたわけね。ひどいな。それじゃあ見境なしじゃない。
違うのか。吸血鬼ってのは見境なしなんだろう。人間だって生きているだけで腹が減るんだ。お前たちだって生きていくために血を吸うんなら際限はないんじゃないのか。
そうね、それはそうなんだけど、私は自分から血を吸うなんてこの800年一度もないかな。普通の人間を殺したことだって一度もないよ。
800 years? Are you serious? Not a single drop, and I've never killed a normal human either. 800 years? It's such a weird thing to hear a vampire to say, but I still find myself asking the question.
それ本当の話か。
本当よ。だって私血を吸うのが怖いんだもの。
血を吸うのが怖いって吸血鬼なのに？
Honestly, I'm very curious to see how Archwade was, let's say in the beginning, right? In the beginning of her life. Yeah, that would be nice to see. Maybe we'll have a flashback of her life back then.
きっと臆病なのよ、私は。だからいつまで経っても吸血鬼としても半人前ってこと。
Half vampire. Archwade utters the word as she idly glances out the window. She pauses to gaze at the night sky in a drawn-out moment of quiet. As I watch her, it feels like she's becoming less distinct, a hazy phantasm drifting away.
そっか。
Just muttering those words provides an odd relief. Wait, why does it feel like a load has been taken off my shoulders? That's weird. Right, yep, it's definitely weird.
どうかしたの、シキ？
別に何でもない。お前が臆病なチキンだから笑っただけ。
Chicken.
チキン？私、なんで鳥？
Archwade tilts her head in confusion. She really doesn't like a vampire in the slightest. It's only natural for me to be relieved. How could I not be? It turned out, I mean, that the person in front of me isn't anywhere near as evil as I'd feared. If what she says is true, then there's no reason for me to worry about Archwade spontaneously killing me. And it's not just my newfound sense of safety that's bringing me relief. There must be something wrong with me. The idea that Archwade doesn't count herself a fully fledged vampire is what has me happiest of all, so I can't believe I was so wrong about her this whole time.
あれ
Just as I'm able to relax around Arcuade, I'm struck by a sharp sense of pain and vertigo. What is happening? My vision is blanketed by a white haze. This isn't the same as my anemia. I'm still thinking too clearly for that. A strange cold chill accompanies my headache.
どうしたのよ、シキ。そんなに額に汗を浮かべちゃって。
I wipe the back of my hand across my forehead as I reply, and I'm met with a far more wet, sticky sweat than I'd anticipated. This is weird. Judging by the sweat, you'd think I was in a sauna. As if urged by the pool of anxiety welling up in my chest, my eyes dart to the digital clock. It's 4:32 a.m. Too early for the sun to beat back against the chilly night air, the clock itself still lists the current temperature outside as cool 11 degrees. It's way too cold for me to start breaking a sweat like this. So then why does this room feel like I'm standing outside on a hot summer day?
アルケード、お前暑くないのか？
ん？別に活動に異常をきたすほどの温度じゃないでしょ？まだたったの38度だし。弱っているとはいえ、今の私でも3000度ぐらいまでなら普通だよ。
I'm an idiot for even asking. Did she say 3000 degrees Celsius? So you could throw a vampire on a grill and they still wouldn't burn. No, this isn't a time to be thinking about that. The digital display lists the temperature as 11 degrees. So either the clock is malfunctioning or my body is. I searched the room for another thermometer.
なんだあれ。
As I scan the room, my gaze becomes transfixed on the monitor displaying a live feed of the hotel lobby. Oh.
燃えてる。
I can hardly believe my eyes. It's something you'd only see in a movie. Oh, the dog. Flames spread through the lobby like water spilling from the sink. Mixed in the thick black smoke, I see a humanoid silhouette. It gives me the impression of a massive predator, a carnivore that eats those like it.
アルケード。
Arcuade remains silent. Or is it hostility I read in her expression? No, it's something more like contempt. The two of us must be entertaining very different thoughts as we stare at this monitor. It takes less than a minute for the lobby to be entirely engulfed by the sea of flames. Then the fire alarm doesn't ring. The digital thermometer still hasn't changed. But my body is drenched in sweat and simply breathing the hot dry air is enough to parch my throat. There's no time to think. They're here. Those flaming corpses from before have come to the hotel. I make a run for the window to inspect the situation outside. The town looks the same as ever. The hotel is bathed in flames, but nobody outside seems to have noticed a thing. There's no sign of aid rushing to the hotel, nor any humans frantically trying to escape the fire.
どうなってるんだ、アルケード。
Arcuade keeps her mouth firmly shut, unwilling to say a word. Time simply passes. The temperature feels like it's getting hotter by the second. My skin feels like it could burn any minute. I don't know what things are like outside the room, nor do I have an idea what things are like on the floors below. All I know is the awful ominous feeling gripping my chest, telling me that it's already too late. Arcuade is still silent. Is it because she's worried or frustrated? Her arms are crossed like she's hugging herself, or maybe she's trying to hold herself back. She said she wouldn't leave this room. She said she didn't have the power right now. In which case, what did I come here for? Okay, how about we save here? I think there's a pivotal moment for the choices. How about we stay in the room for now and observe it? Yeah, I think this one. It's better to observe the situation from in here. It'd be reckless for me to go out there alone while Akiraid is still recovering. You better use your mystic eyes, sir. If that thing ever comes up. Time continues to pass. My fingers tighten around the knife as my eyes fixate on the video feed of the lobby bathed in flame. Akiraid's eyes are closed. Looking at her now reminds me of how beautiful, no, how powerful she looked in the moonlight. It's been more than half a day since the fight in the alley. Surely she's regained a bit of her power by now. It's hot. It's like I'm standing inches away from a massive bonfire, cooking and smoldering as the air in front of me distorts from the heat. It's getting hard to breathe. I figured that it'd be safe as long as I stayed inside the room, but my head is feeling light. At this rate, I'm gonna pass out. Should I go out there knowing it's dangerous? I still have time, but just as I start to reevaluate my decision, the lights go out. The mysteriously high temperature suddenly drops again. At the same time, I hear it. An unending flurry of knocks against the door.
四季、覚悟はいい。
Akiraid's words are the only thing to break through the darkness. I swallow as I listen to the pounding.
覚悟って何の
There is no time for me to finish my question. Oh my god, it's so fast. If staying in this room was a mistake, then I guess asking something like that was a mistake too. Hearing the splintering of wood, I whip around to face the door. It's the dog. It was just a split-second decision, but I distanced myself from the door in the hopes it'd be safer. Little did I know what would happen next. The two dogs that broke down the door burst into the room. Akiraid slashes at them with her claws, and the second she does, the room is flooded with fire, hot flames washing over every corner until it's filled to the brim. Unless we're dealing with incredible temperatures, a human won't die instantly when exposed to fire, but these flames hit like a blunt weapon, powerful enough to turn the body to ashes in a single blow. It reminds me of a flamethrower. A flamethrower might look like it's launching flames at you, but in reality it merely douses the target with fuel, igniting it a microsecond later. This fire is pretty similar. The blaze strikes across the room like a whip, reducing everything it touches to cinders in an instant. What chance does a human body have against something that can melt its way through a wall or table? If there's one small mercy at the center of this inferno, it's that the fire lashed straight through my waist and immediately incinerated everything above it, sparing me the slow agony of burning alive. So we died. Is it a dead end? Okay, that was the wrong choice. Well, we actually died again. So it's better to just go and investigate, I guess. Oh, we got, yeah, Miss CL again. Dubious hint, yes.
Welcome to my territory. ようこそ無残なバッドボーイ。まあどっちも同じやろ。なんて甘い考えで選択肢を選んでみればこのありさま。消極的なメガネくんに勝つ。お入れる救済コーナー。教えてシエル先生、始まるよ。
2回目の方はこんにちは。初めての方はよろしくお願いします。大抵のプレイヤーさんはこちらの回が初見になると思われるので自己紹介から。
This is technically the second for me though.
Q&A コーナー、教官役のシエルです。こちらはアシスタントの猫アルク。
Neko Akiraid.
毎回端的にデッドエンドの原因を説明しますので少しだけお付き合いくだされば幸いです。
大抵は直前の選択肢がまずかったんで1個前に戻ればいいだけなんだけど、たまにずいぶん前の選択が原因でデッドエンドになることもあるから油断なんね。
そういうケースの解説はまたおいおい。今回はよくある即死系デッドエンドです。異常な事態に直面した際、慎重に様子を見るというのは正しい考えですが、今回はアウトでしたね。何しろ逃げ場がありませんから。翼でもない限りホテルの屋上に陣取るのはおすすめできません。
猫であれば逃げられたのだが、にゃんと身軽に空を飛べるからにゃ、猫は。
それは身が軽いという意味ですか？屋根から屋根に？でもホテルの最上階からは猫でもさすがに。ロケットで突き抜けた。何の参考にもなりません、あの猫。
She's gone. Okay, so let's choose this one. I should go outside and investigate now. Yeah.
よし。
I take a short, deep breath to clear my head. I search for something I could use as a weapon, but a quick survey of the room doesn't give me anything. I mean, he still has his knife though, right? I swallow my hesitation, take my knife from my bag, and head for the door.
四季、
様子を見てくる。俺が戻ってくるまで部屋から出るな。
Arcade looks like she wants to say something, but I tear my gaze away and head into the hallway. There's a light there. It's dark. I guess the lights must have malfunctioned. The only light I see is a faraway glow from the elevator hall. My throat burns more. Now, the very air is thick and scraping against me like sandpaper. The silence is the hallway, or in the hallway, is unsettling. You gotta hear a pin drop. There isn't a single sign of life. No blank running in terror. No burnt blank. No utter silence is making me question what I saw on the monitor just now.
異常はないよな。
I walk through the hallway. Sweat forms into beads and runs down my forehead. It's so quiet, I'm starting to feel like I'm the intruder here. Intruder, intruder, intruder. Normally, you'd exterminate any pest that intrude a place like this. It's all I can do to calm myself. I readjust my grip on the knife so the sweat doesn't make it slip from my palm. I feel nauseous. There's a pressure near my temples. Somewhere between my eyes and my brain, my nerves experience a strange pull. It's as if my eyes are trying to crawl into my brain cavity. Or maybe my brain is trying to swallow my eyes. I bite back against a dull, aching pain as I traverse through the heat wave blasting me from all sides. My eyes grow heavy. My eyelids feel like they're gaining mass. My body sways, I might just pass out. I know the feeling well. It's how I feel just before I collapse from anemia. It hurts. The pain is so unbearable, I have to take off my glasses. I look into the direction of the elevators. This corridor is very long. It's got to be more than 20 meters to the elevators from here. It's too far, I tell myself. Go back to the room. What is this? A few more steps and there'll be no more going back. Oh no, a clear sound. The gentle chime of the elevator shatters the silence, as if to herald the destruction of this pure empty space devoid of life. A foreboding chill stops me in my tracks. My eyes are pulled towards unwanted intrusion. What is that lines? I mean the insane amount of lines in the elevator. The small elevator light stops. It has arrived at its destination. I can see the lines stretching across the elevator door in the distance. Though, shrouded by so many, a dense web of them, I can barely see the door. The door is open. I peer inside the cramped metal box. The inside is overflowing with flesh, the flesh of things that were alive until a moment ago. My breathing ceases. Just like my brain refuses to process the things I'm seeing, so do my lungs abandon their duty. I stare at the scene with the elevator. The thick chunks of red meat are packed tight as they can be within the metal box. In the middle of it all are two dogs tearing at their morbid feast. My vision turns red. With a nauseating squelching noise, a gelatinous mass of meat oozes out the elevator. I see a blood, carcass, bone, brain, fingers, and viscera. The pool of carnage only houses two living residents, the dogs. The rational part of my brain refuses to accept this scene as reality. At the end of the hallway, the dogs are still digging into the mutilated cadavers. Terrible news sounds travel up through the elevator shaft. Discordant screams spill into the hallway. If I strain my ears, I can just make out the sounds of flesh being gnawed on, intermingled with the shrieks of despair so anguished they hardly sound human. It feels like my hearing has found a shortcut to my imagination. Even though I can't see it with my eyes, the carnage is all too clear in my mind's eye. People being burned alive, people being eaten alive. A man notices the unusual temperature and leaves his room to flee. The second he opens the door, he is enveloped by a hellish fire that roasts him to the bone. A young girl sobs in despair, locked in her room. When the flames from the lobby reach her floor, she is in the bathtub. The water steams and the bubbles are boiling her alive, turning her ruptured flesh to ash from the inside out. Oh my god. Many clamor to get into an elevator that arrives. Inside, they find it already packed with the bodies of those who tried to escape before. By the time the newcomers realize that those presents are no longer human, they are already being consumed. There are two types of screams, those born from the fear of being eaten alive and those born from the fear of being burned alive. There are no exceptions. The small elevator is a microcosm of what the hotel has become. This vision of hell is so close, I can feel the agony flush against my skin. I want to throw up, but I can't. If I did, it'd become part of this horrible ocean of red. I force myself, or I force my body, to remember how to breathe. I grind my teeth together to regain a sense of control. The dogs notice me. As soon as they do, all sound from the floors below stops. That can only mean one thing. No one else is alive. The dogs break into a sprint towards me. I'm the only prey left within their hunting grounds. The black hounds approach me. Their bodies are marked with countless lines. But they're now used to me now. My mind is too paralyzed to do anything, so I can't even decide whether to fight or flee. One of the dogs leaps. No human could even come close to matching it in speed. It covers its 20 meters of the hallway in less than 2 seconds. Its maw opens wide. Sharp, saw-like teeth reach for my throat. The dog's movements are fast and deadly efficient. The second my mind manages to process that, it is leaping at me. The beast closes its fangs around my neck with a terrible gnashing sound. Wait, did he actually die again? This is where Shikitono dies. No, that isn't right. This won't kill me. I won't die here. Seeing death isn't new to me. It was a hot summer day. It feels so long ago, yet it was merely 7 years. Back then, I witnessed something far more horrifying. Stab. I thrust my knife into the forehead of the dog that tried to gnaw at my throat. As if on autopilot, my arm swung up the second monster's canines and touched my skin, before it could pierce my carotid artery. I surprised even myself. Like a machine whose only function is cutting and slicing, I thread the knife through the dog's forehead with mechanical precision. It comes easy as I am merely cutting through one of the dog's lines. Normally, destroying an animal's brain wouldn't cause its body to cease functioning immediately. The muscles will move and spasm in response to the brain's final signals, carrying out their last commands to the best of their ability. Even if I tore my blade straight through the dog's head, its fangs would still tear through my neck. But this is different. I didn't just kill the dog, I brought it to death. Death means total cessation. No matter how monstrous the dog was, it lost every ounce of power the second I killed it. It falls limply to the ground. The second dog is already lunging toward me in its place. I stab the knife into its wide open jaw. My blade buries into its wet flesh. The skin of the dog may be oddly tough, but its insides are soft and yielding, its flesh and bone having long rotted. But I messed up this time. This dog's lines aren't on its head, they're all congregated around its chest. I might have managed to stab it, but the damage is done a little more than a flesh wound. The knife has pierced the dog's maw, reaching the back of its head, which naturally means that the hand holding the knife is now fully enveloped by the creature's mouth. The dog is still very much alive. It clamps its jaw shut around my outstretched arm. I feel the strain as it pulls against the soft cartilage between my hand and wrist. Any moment now, it'll tear straight through the flesh. The pain is enough to snap me back to reality. This really hurts. What the hell am I doing? Getting my arm torn to shreds just to stick a knife into a dog's mouth. I struggle and squirm, trying to wrench my arm out of its vice-like grip. As something gnashes at my arm, an intense pain shoots up through my nerves like firework. Its teeth feel like they're stuck deep within my arm, but it's awfully lively for something with a knife in its skull. The dog presses its weight against me, toppling both of us and pinning down the carpet. My back is driven hard against the floor, but even now its grip on my arm hasn't loosened a bit. With my knife still plunged deep inside its head, the black dog tightens its jaw further. It's going to rip off my arm. This is insane. What kind of dog keeps biting in a situation like this? Something warm and wet drips down to my elbow. A red blood is dripping from the dog's frenzied, quivering lips. It might be the dog's blood trickling down my arm from the knife. Or it might be my blood flowing freely as the dog tries to render my arm into mincemeat. To my scrambled brain, it doesn't matter much. The dog refuses to release its prize. There's no way I can run away with the dog still clinging to my arm. Not that running away was ever an option to begin with. nor did I have any intention of doing so. I just want to survive, but in order to survive, there was only ever one condition. All I have to do is kill. But how do I do that? It won't be long till one of my arms gets chewed off. That arm is still gripping the knife. The full weight of the dog has me trapped against the carpet. Even if I manage to pull my arm free, chances are the dog would have its jaws around my neck the very next second. The desperate circumstances force a weak chuckle to escape my lips. I just need some time to assess the situation, some time to really think it through. That's how I've always done things, that's how I was taught. Like, look, see how there are plenty of lines running along the back of the dog's head? The path to survival is blindingly clear. This is a wild beast, a monster that devours humans. But when it's this close to me, I'm painfully aware of its wildly beating heart burning with its own desire to live. It clamps down on my arm even harder than before. I'm such an idiot. I'm so stupid. I wish it was tearing my own throat out. It's kill or be killed, a natural universal law. So why? Why does the supposed cruelty of the action gives me so much pause? A thick drop of blood splashes against my face. The red fluid drips down my forehead and into my eyes. My vision is painted a deep dark crimson. It burns itself into my retinas until red is all I can see. The warm, viscous liquid strikes me as an oddly familiar. My consciousness slowly slips away from me. Where's the Arcuade, by the way? Why is she not helping us? Even so, I can't kill something that's alive. You're dying, come on. Hypocrite. You've already killed something much bigger than some mutt. Yeah. Arcuade, right? Technically, he did that? He's just lucky that she came back? That's right. But that time was different. With Arcuade, Shikitono wasn't thinking clearly at all. Even when I killed that big dog, it was as my body moved on its own without my input. But this time, it requires me to make a conscious decision. Didn't Master tell you, Shiki, to use this power for yourself and not for anyone else? That's why, as long as I stay who I am, as long as I remain a decent human being, I will never take any life for granted. Hypocrite. You've done it all before, long ago. Yeah, this one, what happened here? A bad dream from my childhood. Yeah, that is Aki, huh? And that is a lot of blood, right? Look what's holding you back now. It was a hot summer day. It's kill or be killed. Before me is the figure of a young boy drenched in blood. You are ready. My hands are stained with warm red blood. Killed before, haven't you? I stab. Rather than extract my arm, instead, I bury it deeper as I slice through the beast's skull. A pained shriek echoes in my eardrums. Unable to cry out properly with my arm jammed down its throat, the dog's wail resembles a woman's shrill scream. It must be in tremendous pain. Not that it matters though. I drive the knife deeper inside together with my mangled arm. The blade pokes out from the back of the dog's skull. I split its skull and effortlessly slice through its hide, scattering gobs of blood and brains across the carpet. Before I know it, I've thrust both my knife and my arm cleanly through the back of the dog's skull. And yet, it still lives. There's only one thing left for me to do. I take the knife from my bloodied right hand and move it to my left. The impaled dog's body trembles and squirms, seemingly pleading for mercy. It even stops digging its fangs into my flesh as if to show remorse. Like I care. I run my blade along the beast's line and quickly dismantle its body. I look down on that which was once filled with life. The limp body no longer protests as I finally remove my arm from its maw.
なんだ
The
全然食い込んでないじゃないか
I take a long look at my bloodied arm. My school uniform has been torn to shreds, but the gouges in my flesh aren't even a centimeter deep. The deluge of blood dripping down my arm earlier must have belonged to the dog. It doesn't even hurt that badly anymore. My fear must have clouded my mind and amplified the pain in the heat of the moment. I'm still lying down on the floor, staring at the ceiling. What are we do? What is our Kuwait doing, by the way? We fought for our life and she's still there, in a room. My head hurts so much. My world is a patchwork stitched together by these lines of death. Though my limbs are freezing cold, my mind is spinning with a fever. The corpse of two dogs are right beside me. One of my arms is covered in blood while the other still clutches the reddened knife. Beneath this floor are the mangled and charred corpses of the victims that died in the pandemonium. The pandemonium. There's nothing I can do but laugh. Why are you laughing though? Because this isn't real. What? It can't be possibly real. I'm normal. Totally normal. The only weird thing here is this dream. The second I wake up, it'll all go away. But when did I start dreaming with my eyes open? The elevator chimes. Such a cute, clear noise. Entirely inappropriate for the current situation.
ベータ
It's the elevator adjacent to the one that brought the dogs. My exhausted brain doesn't even try to contemplate what this means. The door is open again. My mind might not be working, but my body will have to. In a dull haze, I grip the knife in my right hand and haul myself up to face the upcoming tragedy. I don't want to do this. I warily gaze inside of the newly arrived elevator. Inside it is...
から
It's completely empty. A bit of anticlimax in its own way. The danger has passed, everything is over, and I've already gotten a grasp of the situation on the lowest floors. Which means there's no reason for me to stick around here. I turn to leave when...
誰か
That's a bait, yeah. That's just a bait, don't go there. I hear a woman's voice. She sounds so desperate. It almost seems out of touch with reality. Her pleading screams grow in volume, accompanied by a panic footfalls. Let me see, is that a new character? Well, let me see the volume, I mean. Okay, no. There's no mistaking it. It must have been a survivor out of breath as she frantically works her way up the stairwell next to the elevators.
やったここ燃えてない
She sounds relieved, but she doesn't slow her pace. Within moments, I can see her spilling from the stairwell and into the hallway.
ねえそこの君
She starts running again as she takes note of me.
やった助かった私助かった
Can we even trust this woman? Her expression, overcast and pale with fear, is lit up by a flash of joy as her eyes focus on me. A white glove hand seizes her, ripping her from salvation and back into hell.
そういやいや
Still watching me, the woman begs for help. Dude, look at that. Okay. And then she falls silent. No resistance, no constraints that bind her. The second she's grabbed, she loses consciousness as if this were a dream, and she was snapped awake, leaving only her body behind. The actual enemy is here now. Stop. Stop this at once. That woman. She has nothing to do with this. She's just a sweet and innocent girl. Preying on her is... I actually thought like Shiki knew her because he's like, that woman. I know her. No, it's just a random person.
やめ
My cries come too late. Not that they would have changed anything. My eyes are fixated in the woman's neck. Starry orbs of light flicker and scatter within my vision. Rage like never before boils in my chest. My vision clears and I see two soulless spits amid a deluge of blood. That woman's legs twitched ever so slightly, her fingers jolting reflexively. All emotions, all life drains from her face. It has to be the first thing I've seen it happen. First time, I mean. But I don't need to be familiar with the sight to comprehend the horrific spectacle in front of me. The drinking and gulping of the monster is almost unnaturally loud against the otherwise silent hallway. When it's had its fill, the monster discards her body without a second thought. Her body wavers, frail like a withered tree. A ballerina tiptoeing the fine line between life and death. I gaze at her pitiful form. That woman is totally silent. The only sound is that of rushing blood. Then her back splits open. In a single moment, a fountain of blood erupts. The vampire sighs in relief as he bathes in the scarlet shower. In an instant, everything around me changes. The sweltering temperature finally seems to match up with reality. A dam of fire bursts, flooding out all at once. The hallway is absolutely enveloped by flames. The heat presses against me, singeing and stinging at my skin like claws. If I were to take a breath now, I'd surely burn my lungs. But something is strange here. The flames continue licking at their surroundings, and yet the building isn't on fire. As the only thing still alive here, I am the only one left to feel this inferno. This guy's not even talking though. My headache intensifies. The man begins walking my way. It's clear he is the source of the river of flames. The closer he gets, the more terrible the heat becomes. He's still 15 meters away from me. But even at this distance, it's impossible for me to breathe. I realize that nothing could survive in this man's vicinity. The proximity alone would lead to certain incineration. Then the shadow continues upwards in my direction. He's lean and tall, wearing an antiquated clothes topped by a heavy fur cloak. Though this figure may be human-like, everything about him screams that he's anything but. There's something off about him, something wild and crazed. Only 13 meters now. He continues without a sound. I glare at the man, knife firmly in hand. He doesn't respond, so I'm starting to wonder if he can even see me. 10 meters. I train my eyes on his body. Amid the rising flames, I can finally see the lines of death that cover him. My brain feels like a soup boiling over an open flame. What is that? A dense and intricate torrent of death swirls at the center of it all. And at the center of the torrent is an odd glimmer, bright and shiny like a precious jewel. My head hurts too much to keep staring at it. It's like how staring straight into the sun will burn your retinas. There is no way I can directly stare at this core for too long. If I don't steel myself, my brain itself might rupture at the sight of it. 8 meters. He draws ever closer. The temperature rises, though not enough to cook through human flesh yet. 6 meters. The man stops. His focus falls on me. It took him long enough to notice me standing there. I meet his gaze. I shouldn't make eye contact. Arcoade's words of warning ring clearly in my ears. But I can't tear my eyes away. I can't ignore the abyss before me. He's different. His eyes can't be the mystic eyes Arcoade was talking about. These are entirely fundamentally different. They aren't eyes that bind the viewer. They're just filled with madness. The eyes of one who has lost his mind. A madman, a poor, hapless man driver, or driven crazy by his own impulses. A man just like me. My instinct screams at me to get out of danger. Every alarm in my body tells me this is bad news. But my body won't move, not even as much as a single fingertip. Danger signals fire through my synapses. No matter what the cost, I have to get away from him. If I don't, it'll be the end for me. But I'm too late. The creature with sickly eyes stares at me but barely pays me any notice. From its outstretched hands unfolds a fire that'll burn me alive. I'm going to die. This fire is as real as it's terrifying. Different from the blue flames that flooded the hall, they were some sort of byproduct, an effect to his cause. They could swallow you alive, but you wouldn't die immediately. They'd scorch you up with some awful phantom pain that feeds off life itself. But these flames are different. Just getting close is enough to char the skin, enough to burn all organic matter to ashes. The fire engulfs me from all sides like a claw seizing its prey. It will cleave my body in two, neatly cauterizing the flesh where it is ripped apart. The only thing more real than this fire is my fate. Yet, just before I die... Finally, she came out. Finally, she's helping. My body is flung backwards with a snap. The name creaks from my throat. My mind goes blank. I have a rough understanding of what just transpired. Arcoade pulled me back before stepping in front of me to absorb the blow from that sinister, fiery hand. But what I don't understand is why she did it. Wasn't I supposed to be her shield? So why is she getting hurt to protect me instead? Arcoade's face scrunches up in pain. The man hits her with the flaming claw again and again, but this time she doesn't have to pull me out of the fire sway. Arcoade swings her right hand like she did in the alley, baiting the flames away. But she's unable to extinguish the flames entirely, and the lingering embers strike her head-on. Does it mean even Arcoade could be burned if she took the full brunt of these flames? Are they hot enough to kill even her? This woman with barely any lines on her, who's supposed to be so far removed from death. The entire clash lasts less than 5 seconds. The two exchange a dozen blows each way. I don't understand why, but when they're done, the man solemnly lowers his arm. He stares at Arcuade intently, not saying a single word. Arcuade glares back bitterly as she clutches at her abdomen. The man has eyes for nothing but Arcuade. He doesn't even care that I'm here, safe behind Arcuade's protective figure, clutching a knife. This dude is not even talking, man. Vapor slips from the man's lips. His breath is heavy, like it's being pushed through an exhaust pipe, as he reaches with his left hand to find something beneath his coat. I hear a faint metallic clink. It's got to be some kind of blade. He's hiding a long object beneath his coat, the same object he used to rend through the back of that woman and turn her into a fountain of blood. He takes one step closer to Arcuade. His weapon is still carefully concealed beneath his coat.
無礼者、豚でなければ名を名乗れ。それとも貴様の親は最低限の言葉も教えぬ刀師だったのか？
Oh, this is just a norm. This is a servant, I guess. So there is still a sire. Okay. The man stops in his tracks. A light flickers behind his hollow eyes, as if he's only just remembering himself. I don't even know what language Arcuade used, but the man clears his throat, composing himself. His voice carries a current of pain, like he had forgotten he were a living being just until now. Okay, he talked, Oh, 80 already. Wait, what was it? 80 already. Okay. I merely possess no name.
礼儀はなっていないけど、恥だけは足りているよね。元の名前は失った。か。でも呼び名ぐらいはあるでしょ。継いだばかりのようだけど、仮にもその一角なんだから。
The atmosphere in the hall shifts. The azure flames well up all around the corridor, burning ever brighter. It looks like Arcuade hit a sore spot. Vlov. A pained expression paints his face. He declares his name.
知らない名前。私が記録していない以上、正当な後継者とも思えない。
そうではない。ご当主は俺が仕留めた。
なったばかりの祖ってこと。じゃあ次は私を殺して箔をつけたい？
名誉は己の胸にあるものだ。俺は俺が欲しいものしか奪わない。
心構えは立派だけど、それなら私だけに絞りなさい。これはちょっとやりすぎよ。
いや、この都市は汚れている。焼き尽くさなければ俺の心情に戻る。
あっそう。つまり蛮族同然の三流使徒だったわけ。
粗野であることは自覚している。神祖の姫、その心臓を俺によこせ。
Wait, she's a princess of the true ancestors? The area around Vlov twists with a simmering heat. Like a river bursting through its banks, the fire rushes in our direction. Arcuade stands in front of me like a breakwater, holding back the flood from swallowing me whole.
動かないでシキ。この炎があいつの武器。消し済みになりたくなかったら 私の後ろから離れないで。
I appreciate her warning, but something about her words strikes me odd. This is his weapon? Is she surely or really sure about that? I mean, after creating these high temperatures, he's still... No, this isn't the time to think about that. Focusing, I tightly grip the knife in my hand. He's coming. The hallway is now a cavern of flame. Vlov pulls a blade from his coat. Well, he backed. He retreated. For some strange reason, Vlov suddenly turns his back towards us. He strides down the hallway and leisurely entered the elevator, leaving us behind as if nothing had happened. Okay, now I officially don't understand a goddamn thing. I don't understand those dogs, I don't understand the flames that covered the hallway, and I don't understand the waking nightmare that attacked the hotel. Arcoade slumps against me with a thud. She's got a nasty wound. It looks like she managed to stop the bleeding, but her face is contorted in pain. It's still fresh. After all, she only just received the wound while she was shielding me from certain death.
そうだよ。お前、なんで？
ちょっと甘く見てた。あれくらいならシキを助けて、私も軽くかわせると思ったんだけど。さすがだね、シキ。シキにやられた傷、そんなに甘くなかったみたい。
With her face still scrunched up in pain, Arcoade smiles as if she were amused by her own words. I can't bear to look at her. Not only did she suffer this wound while protecting me, I'm the main reason she's this weak in the first place. So why is she still smiling at me so stupidly? How am I even supposed to respond to this? Arcoade leans against me, putting her weight on my shoulder as she closes her eyes.
ちょっと待て。何目を閉じてるんだ、バカ！しっかりしろ。お前は夜なら死なない吸血鬼なんだろ。
Super vampire.
でも私なんだか限界みたい。悪いんだけど部屋まで連れ帰っておいて。
Arcoade collapses against me. I manage to catch her just in time, arms are wrapped tight around her slender body.
ちょっと待ってくれ。そんな。
If you die on me here, I'll really have no idea how to respond.
ダメだ。起きろ、アルクエイド。
I shout at her, shivering, her eyes remain closed. When... She's sleeping, she's just tired. Her soft snoring sounds of content. I'm starting to feel like an idiot for being worried about her at all. Yeah, my concern was wasted on her. She's not dying, she just fell asleep.
部屋まで連れてけって、また勝手なこと言いやがって。
So where are we going? Are we gonna stay here? It's not like there's any other option though. We can't exactly stay at the hotel when it's like this. Things will get difficult if we stick around the scene of a massacre. Despite everything being limited to just the hotel, as morning comes and people arrive, it'll quickly be clear what had just happened. My head still hurts. Oh, there, get the glasses. Arcoade isn't the only one who's at her limit. I put my glasses back on to at least alleviate my headache.
アルクエイドの部屋って。あそこか。
Okay. Her apartment? Even though I've only visited once, I still vividly recall its location. Oh, okay, I remember, yeah. The place where he pretty much killed her, yeah. Well, no point loitering here any longer. I gather up her things from the royal suite, pull Arcade into my arms, and leave the Baron Hotel with a feeling of shame pressing down on my shoulders. Yeah, I was like, Arcoade's apartment, where is that? And then yeah, I remembered. That's when Shiki followed her, right? Couple episodes back, when he pretty much destroyed her. It's already light outside.
そうか。そういうことか。
That's why Vlov escaped, because it's light outside. That explained why the man left so suddenly. The sun illuminates the city with its gentle light. Night has given way to day. For now, I should just focus on getting our Kuwait the rest she needs. Taking a taxi is out of the question. So we stand out. If a pair of these suspicious get into your car, you'd definitely remember their faces. Instead, I carry our Kuwait as far from the hotel as I can before boarding a bus bound for Soya Station. We're lucky given the early hour, there are no witnesses or curious onlookers to point their gaze at us. Bye-bye, hotel. The emergency exit around the back is exactly like I left it 2 days ago. Neither the residents nor the building's caretakers must have noticed the lock was broken. It's 6:30 in the morning now. I sneak into the self-proclaimed vampire's room just like I did last time. Finally, this long mess of a day can be laid to rest. Okay, now the last part there they showed was Arcoade's apartment building, yeah. That's why he said he broke the fire escape, whatever it's called. Day 5, fire and blood. So no one even noticed that, right? Like, oh, by the way, your fire escape is broken. Or the door, the lock to it. No one even checked. It has been 2 days. Okay, so let us take a break here. Finally, we saw who the enemy is. Vlov. Very, very strong, I guess. And yeah, a lot of fire. A lot of fire. So that is the guy I think that we saw in front of Shiki's mansion or Shiki's house, right? Same silhouette, I guess, right? And then he has the dogs as well. I guess maybe the reason he killed the dog there was he absorbed it. Remember when Arcoade was talking about the Vampire 101 last time? Like what they do when animals is they absorb them or something like that. So that's why he has dogs with him. I don't know if I'm right, but we'll see. I actually want to see what the news, for example, hotel massacre in the hotel. Hopefully they show that, right? And yeah, what is happening in Shiki's mansion as well? What is Akiha, Hisui, what are they gonna say, right? Like, where is Master Shiki? He didn't come home. Where is he? I wanna see their reactions. So anyways, we are gonna continue this and do more of Tsukihime, A Piece of Blue Glass Moon in the next one. So I'll just see you then, guys. Bye bye.